Okay, good morning. This is Chris Robinson, Robinson Ag Marketing with today's pre-opening grain and livestock comments for Friday, October 17th, 2025. Um, I'd say the biggest thing I noticed last night in the overnight markets, you've got crude oil slipping again, the lowest price since May. Um, if we take out May's low, okay, on the continuation chart, that's going to be almost a 4.5 year low. So if we go down and take out 55.12, um, overnight, we traded as low as 56.60. So we're coming up on some big support. The silver lining to that is diesel. If you haven't bought your diesel yet, or if you're buying diesel hand to mouth, it's giving you a good chance here. We are at a new lows overnight, 4 month, 5 month lows in diesel heating oil, traded to 212. Okay, in the grains, a couple pennies higher in these, up 2.25 cents at 224. A 3 cent overnight range. Not much going on. You're going to see maybe some end of week position settling. We know the funds are short about at least 100,000 contracts. They could buy that back very quickly if they need to. I cannot get bullish these corn until we take out the July uh, 3rd gap up there at 432, 433. So, and the next upside target would be the 200-day average, which is at 439. We are above the 20, 50, 100 day. That's big. The 20-day had been kind of waterboarding us in these corners. So I continue to watch that. And yeah, I know it's this time of the year you guys are out there harvesting. This is the last thing you want to hear about is moving averages and technical analysis. But until we get a China deal, that's the kind of garbage we're going to be dealing with, unfortunately. So good news is we're higher. Bad news is it's Friday and we're going to have a whole weekend of what is going to be tweeted this time over the weekend while the markets are closed. Novi beans 1016 and a quarter. I've talked time and time again about how important 1023 is. 1023 is the midpoint of the whole year. It's nice to have a bounce, but again, at the end of the day, if you're storing stuff right now, these bounces are just opportunities to get cheaper puts. Do not store and just ignore. If you're going to store it, keep a cheap put under it. Why? Because the moment you store it and think that's it, you're basically predicting that you think the low's in. And that's great to have an opinion, have your opinion, but spend a nickel on a put. And that way, if we wake up with some bad news, at least your hedge has cushioned the blow. You're looking at December Chicago wheat, the unchanged overnight. We're still battling out there. That's 5 year lows. Again, is corn going to be able to pull up wheat? We'll see how that moves. Again, if you're storing wheat, which most of you are, make sure you maintain the put under it. If you're not getting my letter, take a look at it. I did a really big breakdown of long-term support in wheat, which is I pointed out possible supports and possible with the capital P. Please do not take the fact that if I point out what the old lows are, that is not me either one predicting or two hoping that we get down there. It's just pointing out what your risk is. And at the end of the day, we're all over 18 years old. I don't care if you hedge or not. I really don't care. I'm just pointing out the risk. End users, I work with some end users, use a lot of corn, wheat, beans, especially corn and wheat. If these were great opportunities to buy some really cheap calls. We're at 5 year lows in wheat. If you know that you're in a situation where you're going to use, a couple 100,000 or a couple million bushels of wheat, why wouldn't you not go out and buy cheap calls now as a defense against whatever happens? We haven't had a weather event since 2012. There's no weather event right now going on in South America. I can tell you, if and when we ever get a weather event, the media is going to have a field day with it. They're going to go insane. It's going to fit into their narrative, and it will spike these markets like nobody's business. So that's about the only thing, in my opinion, that could get us going here, barring a stunning China deal where China decides to buy more product from us. At the end of the day, we're familiar with the math. We grow 4 billion bushels. China takes 25% of that every year. It's a billion bushels that didn't get sold this year. There's some chatter out there that South American beans are too expensive now, and China may be motivated. They're going to start using their internal supplies, but that's a good thing because they may be forced to buy beans even if they don't want to. They're not going to buy all of our beans, but they probably buy about half. I've seen some arguments out there where they would probably buy about half of what they generally eat, but half is better than nothing. There's a lot riding on this meeting at the end of the month. Hopefully, President Trump and President Xi can get together and smoke the peace pipe. Livestock, not much to talk about there either. If you're working with me, we've rolled down all of our hog puts off those contract highs. We're a key support. Again, if you're not getting my letter, you can see it. I do use a lot of charts, but that's because it's visual, and I think a visual explanation is a lot better than someone writing a 1,000-word paragraph and putting you to sleep. For live cattle and feeder cattle, the story remains the same. New contract highs, new all-time highs. Yesterday, President did make a comment that he had a solution to expensive cattle. Um, that's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be. A lot of people think that it's somehow might be something where Argentina and United States do something with beans and cattle. Although again, it's if you're trading or if you are hedging off of people's tweets or people's opinions, good luck. I always tell you this: keep it simple. Number one. Number two, make sure you're got your risk defended. And number three, it's okay to have an opinion, but you need to have an exit strategy when your opinion is wrong. If you're looking for help, give me a call 312-638-8868. I am traveling this weekend. I will be available, but uh, the best time to reach me probably would be Saturday or Sunday evening. Definitely Sunday evening if you want to talk. This is Chris. Have a great rest of the day. Take care.